Hello and thanks for joining us. I am Maria Sorreo, joined by my co-host today, Sam Scarborough. You know him best as a former member of the San Diego Chargers and the Oakland Raiders. Sam and I are here at Trump National for the annual event. It's Freedom for You. It's Evening with the Stars. And Sam, always a pleasure to be here and to bump into some of your old pals from the football days and talk about a great local charity here in town that helps kids with after-school programs.
Yeah, you just never know who you're going to run into. And
that's right.
I sort of run a program similar in a very light way up in North Hollywood.
That's right.
And it's all about the kids. I'm just trying to emulate what my coach and coaches did for me when I was little.
You know, it's interesting because you and I talk about that so much with former NFL players, especially. You were taught to be out on the field and be tough, but you were also taught to give back, which is a huge reason why we're here tonight.
That's something we always talk about during the off season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coming together, this fundraiser, bringing kids around, let them come into camp, in the locker room, see what we do so they kind of experience this before they get on to junior high, high school, or whatever.
Right. And how many years later that you've been out of football, but every year you have participated in fundraisers and helping kids out. Something. Absolutely.
Something.
Yes.
And that just gives back, helps other people grow.
Right. And we're going to talk to some of the former players that are going to kind of come in here in just a little while. And of course, Greg Allen, who is the founder of the event. We'll talk to Greg. But first, we're going to talk a little bit of football and hope that we have a little bit of football this season. It's iffy. And I know you remember back to the 1981 strike, and this might be similar, different. What do you think the outcome is going to be, Sam?
It's about taking care of the players.
Yes, it is.
You know, if you can even roll back to the pre-49ers. Now, everybody says, what are you talking about? Well, those guys need medical. Those guys need some type of something to show that thanks for putting in or getting this game started, which can be continued by, or did by me and by some of the other younger guys that are coming up who are making $500,000 just to be on the taxi squad.
Yes,
you know?
And back then y'all didn't make that much money, so and
I won't even tell you how much.
Yeah, because then he'll pass out right here, and then I don't want to have to pick him up off the floor. So, you know, I know it's all about money, and I think that if there's so much money they can't agree on, they should take all the money they can agree on and donate it to the older players.
Yep.
Right?
That would be a lot.
Because everybody's making enough now. How much do you need?
Oh my goodness.
Right?
My goodness. I mean, you're not going to take it, excuse the expression, to the grave with you.
That's right. Absolutely.
And who reminds me of a little guy named Mr. Pericano down in San Diego.
Okay.
One of the 2%, 1% still owners of the Chargers. I met one of his grandsons this past season doing a fundraiser in San Diego for free surgical for kids in San Diego. That's another organization I'm a part of down in San Diego.
That's right.
And Pericano says, you make it, you spend it. If you decide to give it to someone, give it to them for the right reason.
That's right, absolutely.
Because you want to do it, and you don't have to look over your shoulder and say, hey, didn't I do you the favors that you just did it?
Now, let me ask you a question, Sam.
Okay.
Do you think that they could go all summer and all through training camp and not come together, and then week one they say, okay, we're ready? How will they go back week two, let's say, without any training camp? Is that possible to do? I don't think it is.
It would be real tough for a lot of guys. If it came to that, believe me, the guys would organize something on their own to stay in shape.
I would hope so.
They would definitely do something. I mean, you don't never really get out of shape. Like right now.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can remember having organized practices all the time. In San Diego somewhere, it didn't have to be at Charger Stadium. You had it systematically. Joe Beauchamp, Gary Johnson, Louis Kelcher, we'd all get together, at least 15, 20 of us. And as we got closer to camp, more guys would come into town. More of us would get together, and we're coaches as well as players. We have our drills. We know how to organize ourselves.
But Sam, you know as well as I do, especially with the new players that are drafted, they are not ready to just start playing football. You've got to be with your teammates, be with your brothers, and really bond as teammates and learn the playbook. I mean, without the playbook, you can't just be thrown out there in the middle of week 2 and say, here, play. You cover this guy, you cover that guy.
Well, you can give it a try, but
I don't think that will
you're
work.
talking about a bunch of chaos on a football field. It would be more comedy than it would be football.
Yeah, remember how we would talk about the replacement players, and they said there won't be any replacement players, but let me tell you something. If they throw out regular players with rookies, it will be a comedy act for sure.
Oh.
Well, we'll get the video camera out there for sure, right?
We'd be making some little extra money making these extra films.
Exactly. Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that, Sam. Let's hope that they can come together over the summer and that we have a football season this year, because I think it's so important. It would be quite a shame if we didn't have one this year.
Very important.
Yes.
I went through it in the 70s,
Yep.
80s. I wouldn't suggest it to anyone.
Yeah,
I
well.
mean, you're torn. You're torn between what you should do. Should I be faithful? Yada, yada, yada.
Right.
It's just an uncomfortable situation. It's a labor situation.
Absolutely.
See?
Well, hopefully they'll figure that all out, and then we'll have some football to watch.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
That would be good.
Yeah.
And then we can talk about all the teams and what we think and all of our predictions, because we're never wrong, Sam, right? We're never wrong.
Well, you know what? I was good picking who's going to do what in the playoffs in the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, you're pretty good.
Was I?
You're pretty good.
I just watched how things were going.
Yes.
It's all about attitude.
That's right, Sam. All about attitude.
All about attitude.
And you know what? All about attitude and giving back. And when we come back, we are going to talk to some former pros who are giving back here tonight, Freedom for You at Trump. So don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back. And we are now joined by Evander Holyfield. Evander, it's always so good to come out for great organizations like Freedom for You, which supports kids. And I know that even as athletes, Sam and I were just talking, that it's always so important to give back.
It really is, man. But me especially, because I was one of them kids that the boys club, I went to the boys club, and without that boys club, I probably wouldn't got the opportunity to be a boxer.
Right. How old were you when you first went to the boys club?
6 years old. Yes.
It's so interesting when you think about that and what an impact that had on your life.
Yeah, very big, because my mother worked and 10 to 10, and so and all that time, if I didn't have anything to do, ain't no telling what I would have ended up been doing.
And we are now joined by Henry Tillman. And Henry, we always talk about how important it is to give back, especially for athletes that have been given so much. And here you are again supporting Freedom for You.
Well, it's just only fitting and deserving that we come back, because the people have always supported us, and that's what made us who we are today. And which I don't think I'm much. I just feel lucky and God blessed that I was just chosen to go on that beautiful ride. And, giving back is such a small return for all the big things and big support that we had by the whole nation, the world. And, just to come and help some children get a scholarship fund, or help some children get some toys. This is all really the stuff that's really nothing. So it's really a small exchange to me.
Sam, do you remember some of the first times that you actually volunteered when you were playing football? Do you remember that?
Yep, we had quite a few boys club, girls club situations down in San Diego where not only Fouts and Charlie Jordan and a bunch of other guys, Ricky Young, we'd all come out and just have one of those lunch carry days. We just go out and give a free lunch.
Right.
Or do a fishing trip with the kids down in the marina.
Right.
Something like that. Just spend the time, which they would just tickle to death.
Yeah.
These big guys come down to show us how to fish. Oh my goodness. So it's just the small things. Makes a big difference.
Right.
It's a big difference.
It really does.
That's the biggest impact you ever conceive of.
Back out here supporting Freedom for You, of course, a great organization that really helps kids to stay off the streets and have somewhere to go after school, which is so important.
Oh yeah, but see, that's what makes it so gratifying to myself and people like Evander, is that we've been given and blessed with so much, and then to come back and just to see that a kid to do something like this, and it's a possibility for a kid to get a scholarship, or get to go on a trip, or get to ride a horse, and probably never will get the opportunity.
Just to learn something new.
Exactly. Or just get to talk to us and let them know we're just people. We just did some special things, but we're not no more special than anybody else. We were just blessed with a talent that, why me, I don't know. But I mean,
The Lord wanted you to do, that's right.
Yeah, so I just embraced and held on with all my might and tried not to fall off. And God said, let me carry you where you need to go.
We are now joined by Greg Allen, who is the founder of Freedom for You. This event just gets bigger and bigger every year, Greg.
Yeah, we're excited about tonight. We have a lot of guys that came out to support us in the community, and we're just doing a lot of good programs are happening for kids. Kids really need extra resources, and some of the things we're doing with them is real rewarding.
Did you ever imagine when you started this that it would be this big this many years later?
No. I can't believe it takes this much work to do a fundraiser.
Did you work on this all year to get to now?
Well, it kind of picks up a lot of steam in the last 3 weeks. It's a lot of work. I figure it's like people have these giant weddings with a million details. Must be like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like a yearly wedding.
Yeah, right. It's a giant event. Yeah.
It's interesting. Sam and I were just talking to some of the other athletes as well about how important it is to give back. And even though you're an athlete, you're learning how to condition your body, but you're also learning how to give back to your community because you've been given so much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very grateful that these guys come out and support us. They don't get paid any money, and they get invitations to do things everywhere. And to me, them being here is what athletes go through, demonstrating their character and their sacrifice they make to be on a team or to discipline themselves and commitment. Those kind of life skills, those character qualities are really important, and that's one of the reasons to me that they're good role models to be here and to help support the kids programs.
I know that was really important to your father as well, and he made all of his players give back. Do you remember one of the first charity things you ever did as a kid?
No. Is that a trivia question?
Sure, there were so many, but
Yeah, there's lots of stuff. My dad did a lot of community stuff, so I kind of think that's why I do this venture, because he in the off season and after he's coached, he was always helping people go forward in life or giving them some kind of advantage that maybe they didn't have.
he always said the future is now, and the future is now, especially right here at Trump's. We're glad to be here for Freedom for You, and we're going to let Greg Allen go because he's got to go mingle.
Okay, thanks a lot.
And we are now joined by Kevin Moen. Kevin, how many years have you been supporting Freedom for You?
Gosh, I've known about it for probably about 4 or 5 years. So it's ever since I found out about it and got to know Greg a little bit, it's on the agenda.
We talk about how, in being athletes, it's so important to give back. It's not just about learning what you learn in the football field, but it's about giving back as well.
Well, it's what life's about, trying to help others and do what we can to support everything. This is such a great community-based operation, and hey, he's one of our homegrown guys, and it's a great endeavor that he's put together, so we can do what we can to support it.
You also have a little endeavor that you're working on, getting the lights at Peninsula High School.
That's right. That's another community-based event that we're working on, is trying to get stadium lights up there so we can have a place as a community to gather and do fun things at.
Sam, do you remember your first Friday Night Lights game?
I sure do. I can still tell you how it felt too, because my sister had a fun time laughing at me. They turned me head over key kettle, or kettle teal, or whatever you want to call it, as a wide receiver and as a defensive end. Didn't know I could hurt so bad. It was nothing like practice.
Yeah.
It was the real thing.
That's right.
And we played a rival suburban team. I was inner city. My first education. Oh my goodness.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, they lit me up like a Roman candle, let me tell you. But I enjoyed it.
Well, you know what? It's exciting. It's always exciting for the community to come out under lights. So we're looking forward to getting them out at Peninsula High School.
So are we. We're making a lot of progress. We got a lot of momentum, a lot of support. So we just got to keep at it and get to the goals that we need to get to make it happen.
We're now joined by Billy Kilmer. Billy, we always talk about giving back and how important it is for athletes. I think people forget that, on top of being an athlete, you were always taught to give back.
Well, that's dead right, because, you project to the fan. The fans have given us a good living and a real good living today. And you got to give back to the community, and you got to give back to the kids. Today, especially, the kids really need guidance today. They need to have a good image from the athletes, and that's what it's all about.
Now, back when you were playing ball, do you remember some of the first charitable events that you did?
Well, my daughter's here tonight, and she has cerebral palsy, and I've always been trying to do something with the Cerebral Palsy Foundation, and certain banquets and, trying to raise money for them. I had a golf tournament up here in Southern California that raised money for the handicapped kids at Citrus Junior College, and she's got a fund a scholarship fund that gives money to a handicapped person at Citrus Junior College, and try to raise money for that. But I've played in a lot of charity golf tournaments for various things, cystic fibrosis, for a lot of cancer, everything.
How's your golf game, Billy?
Well, lately not too good. I had shoulder surgery back in October, and I was off for about 4 months. I'm just starting to get back now and trying to play a little bit.
I have a feeling you'll be back in the swing of things real soon.
Well, I think so. I don't know.
Do you remember some of the first times you gave back when you were an athlete?
I think from early age, you're always giving back. I think the nice thing is, and I hope the young athletes realize, the old saying is, you get back tenfold what you give, and the nice thing, the Allen family, and anytime they call, we always try to do things, and that's the fun part about life, is when you have the opportunity to give back, and it comes back to you, I think, tenfold.
Talking about so many small things that you think are a small thing, but you touch somebody's life, and it makes all the difference in the world to them.
Yeah, I think the lesson should be learned. The young athlete today, he doesn't realize how fortunate he is to have the career that he's having. Now, when him and I played, we didn't make a whole lot of money, but we made some beer money, but not beer money, but
Pop money.
Soda pop money. But nowadays, that window is so small. I think the average NFL guy is 3 years, something like that, and that's a short career. But the quality of life is when you give back, and now we're in that position that we've all been there and done that, and it's great to have that ability to do that, and it makes you feel so good.
Sam, that was a lot of fun. Always great to be with you.
Hey, let me tell you, I love it.
Come back and join us very soon. And to all of you, thanks so much for watching. And remember, you can get more information on Freedom for You by going to their website at freedomcommunity.com. I'm Maria Sorreo for Sam Scarborough. You've been watching Playing the Field, and we will see you next time.
See ya.